By popular demand, we are offering the full class that Layla Ward introduced us to with our episode Qigong for the worn out mamas. So here you go. Enjoy every minute of this bliss.
So a couple things. A lot of you know this already, but there's two things to really remember with Qigong. One is no pain, no pain. We don't want to have any pain because our main goal is to relax. And pain takes you right out of relaxation. So we do a lot of circular movements. And every joint is different. If something hurts, just make it smaller, gentler, or skip it altogether. Especially if you have a back concern. Really pay attention to your body. Your body will tell you if it likes what you're doing or not. The second thing is, in the interest of relaxation, we only want a 2/3 effort level. This is a type of practice where you do less and get more. So we're staying at a 2/3 effort level. Oh, sprinklers. And that will help us achieve relaxation. As you'll notice on the board here, Qigong has 3 branches: spiritual, medical or health, martial. So Americans are really more familiar with Tai Chi. Tai Chi evolved as a martial art for combat. But it's really evolved and come back into this branch of health and healing. And a lot of times when you see research on Tai Chi, it actually is Qigong that they're doing. They're doing Qigong and calling it Tai Chi. So we're focused on medical and health Qigong, and these are some of the top goals: nourishment and conditioning of the connective tissues, regulation of the nervous system and emotions, and improvement of energy flow, which all of this just works together beautifully to increase longevity, well-being, healing. And it's a complex system, but I simplify it into 2 phases, really. This is how we transform stress into vitality: is we let go and then we fill up. So we're letting go of stress that has turned into tension in the body. And that's not just physical, that's from repetitive thoughts and emotions that somehow get stuck. And tension just gets, it's energy, but it's just bound up in the tissue. And so sometimes all you need to have more energy is to just release that bound up tension, and it comes back into your system as healthy energy. So if you look over here, my classes are always organized in this format, just because I am a little type A. That's why I do Qigong. But there's hundreds of exercises to choose from. And it's always, for me, it's like putting together a meal. Like, what do I want to create? What type of energy do I want? And then it's a la carte. I choose what I want for these different phases. So this is the more Asian term, this is the more Western term that you would appreciate. So we invigorate or warm, we open and stretch, we purge and disperse. Oop, I left that open so we can disperse. We tonify, which is a little bit more advanced. We don't always do that in class, and that's a way to build your qi. We harmonize, that's circulation. And then finally, we consolidate and store our energy down low. So that's what we'll be tracking through today, so you'll know where we are. We normally are 60 minutes. Today, I don't want to feel rushed, so we'll probably be maybe 10 minutes longer, because I really want you guys cooked. This is a very yin practice to counteract, like as an antidote for our busy lives, which tends to overstimulate us. Everything's so fast and urgent and wanting our attention. So this is a chance, this is a gift to you to really slow down for a rare moment. And I call it ready, set, slow. So let's get started. And anytime you feel you want to drink water, or stop an exercise and shake out your legs if you're not used to standing, do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. So we're going to start with just an opening sequence to get us grounded and ready for the practice. Let's start with our feet hip to shoulder width apart. Soften through the knees. Let's lift the crown, sink the tailbone down a little bit. Let's bring our hands up to our hearts. Take a nice breath in. And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to press the fingertips forward on that exhale. And then inhale, separate the palms like taffy, all the way to the horizons. Float that crown up. Breathe naturally, opening to the natural world, honoring all of life, all of creation, all of our relations. And then we'll inhale up to a V, opening our hearts in gratitude to the divine, universal consciousness, the spacious cosmos. Then we'll inhale again and lift, and then draw down and pause and pulse above the crown here, clearing the mind, clearing those glands in the brain, awakening to our higher centers. And then another inhale and lift, and allow the hands to guide this healing light down through the body. Very nice. And just feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Extend your crown to the sky. Palms facing the earth. Breathing in. And then we're going to lift out and up and flip towards the heavens. And then exhale down, scanning down, releasing, melting any tension. This is called pulling down the heavens. We'll do this several times. We inhale, the legs straighten, the chest lifts, and we stand tall. We exhale, knees soften, hips go down, chest sinks. Good. Imagine you're a tree rooted to the ground, drawing nourishment from the earth, the air all around, the sun above. In Qigong, we use these images of nature, trees and rivers and clouds and animals, just as a way to help the mind assist the body in restoring our natural state of flow, our original blueprint of freedom and ease. Good. Let's inhale new, vibrant energy, breathing in. And exhale, anything old, stuck, stale, let it go. A couple more times here, breathing in. And just imagine a pillar of light washing down through every tissue, every cell, every pore. Last one, breathing in source energy from all around you. And exhale, feeling grounded in your body and ready for the practice. Beautiful. So much wonderful energy here. Okay. So we're going to move into our first phase. And this is a warming phase. We're going to start with the spine. So we're going to start with knocking on the door of life. For all my regular students, you can always just go right into an exercise if you know it. But we swivel from the hips and the waist. And then you'll notice your arms will start to wrap around you kind of independently. So just add a little bit more momentum. And we're going to tap with a soft fist on either side of the spine. And you can stay here, or you can bring that fist up to the chest. I'm going to tap the mic if I do it. This is activating lung 1 and lung 2 on the lung channel. It's helping to bring in a little more oxygen. You can take a cupped palm over the tops of the shoulders, the gallbladder channel. This can help clear the mind. Let's go back to the chest, around the waist. And then just let your hands come to a still point. Now we're going to open at the front and the back of the spine. We're going to lift those soft fists. I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to draw those elbows down a little bit behind our peripheral vision and arch the spine. See this little duck butt here? Then we round everything. We tuck the tailbone. The elbows come together. The chin tucks down. So we're going to pulse between inhaling, opening the front of the spine, exhaling the back of the spine. Breathing in, helping to pump that cranial sacral fluid and open all the discs to have fresh fluids coming in. Let's exhale through the mouth, releasing tension. And one more forward. Good. And then we'll step out into a wide stance to open the sides of the body. We're going to just shift our weight laterally, move the body like a river. Don't forget the neck and the head. It's part of the spine. Just these nice fluid movements. Good. Let's bring our hands together, come back to the center. We're going to swim a dragon. We're going to just keep that lateral movement. The dragon is a metaphor for the spine. Good. We're going to reach up a little more, move a little bit faster, snaking our way up to a nice stretch. And release it down to the sides. Good. Now we're going to move into our silk reeling, where we go joint by joint, mobilizing the joints. We're just going to spiral the hands and the wrists around each other, really expressing through all the fingers. Let's go the other way with that circle. The saying is the hinges on a moving door never rust. So this is our little WC40 for the joints. Let's face the palms. We'll work to the elbows. We're going to drop and then flex and lift. We'll flex here and bend and lift. Good. Let's go into the shoulders with a lift up, back, down, and forward. Breathing in and out. Good. Then we're going to extend our arms out. We're going to shift through the rib cage. So you're kind of moving the top hand here, if you can. And then let's lean towards the direction that we're shifting to. If you want, you can start to spiral the entire arm in the socket. Remember, one of the best ways to release tension is through the breath with that exhale. Good. Let's drop the hands, let's lift. And then just kind of blossom those hands down. Very nice. Okay, we're going to work our way to the neck. I don't want you to think about range of motion. Nandy, you can move over more to see me better. Yeah. Even more. So we're going to go we're going to go side to side. We're just warming right now. So keep that in a comfortable range of motion. Back to center, and we'll drop, and then we'll lift up and away. So we're not crunching the cervical spine, but we're looking back and lifting for a long neck. And breathing forward. Back to center, we'll do side to side. And remember to keep a softness in your knees. That'll help your low back. Okay, let's try a half circle. Other way. And again. Nice. Let's try a full circle. And the other way. Good. Okay, now we're going to do some forward low back rolls. We're going to lean and then come out into space in front of us to the other side, and then pull ourselves back up. So we lean, sweep across, and lift. One more this way. Good. Like just kind of hang like a rag doll. Sweep across. Last one. Okay. Now we're going to go into our one-handed teacups. This is a different version from what we did yesterday. But we're going to start, I'm going to turn this way. I think it's easier to follow me. But we're going to start with counterclockwise hip circles. So widen your stance a little so you can really feel your way into every part of that hip. And then we're going to be holding an imaginary cup of your favorite tea. You don't want to spill it, so bring your right hand up and pause your hip circles for a moment. This is the upper body. We're going to bring the tea forward, pass it behind us, over to the right extended, and then we sweep all the way across to the left and back where we started. So we come forward. Good. Now we're going to do that with the hip. So be nice to yourself. This is not easy. We're going to come forward, make a little room here by shifting the hip left, go back with the hip, right with the hip, forward with the hip, and left. Back, right, sweeping across. This is a full body silk reeling exercise to really activate the fascia that can become dry and adhere to our muscles. Good, let's come over here. But let's do our clockwise hips. So we want to get the fascia youthful again. We want to get it lubricated, open and free. This hand will come forward, back, left, across, and opposite the hip. Back with the hip, left with the hip, forward and across. So unlike our muscles, our fascia is all connected. So from your toes to your fingertips, you're stretching and lubricating that fibrous tissue. Good. Let's just reach up And settle the energy down. Okay. Any tea spilling? It's okay. All right, we're going to work our way down to our knees. So bring your feet together. We're just going to do some gentle knee circles, bringing some blood and nourishment into these tissues. Qigong really targets connective tissue, our joints, our tendons, our muscles, our ligaments, and our fascia and our bones. Good, let's go the other way. You'll feel this in your ankles and your low back as well. And then glide your hands up. Interlace your fingers behind you. We're going to open the chest. And then exhale, round the upper back. Inhale. Just bring those shoulder blades forward to hollow out the chest. Good. Then we're going to step out and we're going to do a tabletop here. And I want you in this tabletop to just shift your weight into your heels, opening up your toes, and then into your toes, feeling that in your hamstrings. And then if you have the ability, you're going to drop the head into a forward fold, and then we're going to pulse by bending and lengthening the legs. And then drop your arms, and like you're pulling up some water, we're going to bend the knees and round up slowly, breathing in, spiraling the palms, and stretching up. And release. We're going to bring our hands at a 45-degree angle, lift the crown, sink the tailbone. We're going to tilt our head, and then I want you to nod the head from behind to forward. So now we are really stretching the neck. I want you to breathe through the nose on the way back, and then release through your breath as you look towards your foot. And just let it go. Any mental tension that is accumulated in the neck, tops of the shoulders. This is called spreading the feathers. Good, let's drop the chin forward gently. We'll roll over to the other shoulder and breathe in and nod. Breathe out. You can always shake out your arms if that gets uncomfortable and start again. Softness in the knees. A few more nods. You can't be human and not accumulate stress. So we all have things we can release. Maybe on these last couple breaths, see if you can have that breath be a little deeper and that rotation a little bit wider. Looking up to the ceiling and then exhaling and looking towards your foot. Good, we'll hinge forward and shake that out. Let's just wake up our feet with some pedals. Can't neglect the feet. And then let's do standing on a boat where you just pretend, maybe widen your stance, that you're on a boat and you're like, no, I don't need to hold on to anything. I'm good. Good, and then let's bring the feet in a little bit closer and these are your feet, so let's just tilt side to side. So we wear such good, cushy shoes that our feet don't really have to work much. So it's important that they still remember how to work. Good, let's just shake out. This is a star kick. We shake forward, angle, side, angle, back. Forward, angle, side, angle, back. Wonderful. Okay, let's take a breath and let it go. And just notice how you feel. That's our warm-up. Yummy. Okay, so now we're going to go into some broader stretches to really open up the meridian channels more. And I'm doing a favorite set today called I Jin Jing, which is really targeting our tendons. And you'll notice we're going to be like, you're almost going to feel like you're on the rack, like a medieval rack, and you're being pulled. I want you to really go for it and pretend that people are pulling you. You're going to feel this nerviness through the tendons. And the saying is 1 inch longer tendon, 10 years longer life, which I don't believe that, but that's the idea. Okay? So just enjoy these are Shaolin monk practices. That's like the foundation for the next level of their training is their Qigong. And I just love these exercises. So the beginning is something I love too, and it's not a part of that classic set. So we're going to just settle our energy by lifting it to about the level of the chin and then floating back down. And then you can just spiral those hands around at the bottom. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time and you'll feel that your breath will follow the hands. Good. This time we're going to start to lift up and we're going to go all the way. And press. Really pressing here into a stretch. And then relax like a rubber band, releasing, float down on that exhale. We're going to inhale, float forward. Make a fist and chamber those fists here by the ribs. You can widen your stance a little and really sink in. So we're going to breathe in and then we're going to drop that left fist under the belly button and start to roll it over to the right ear. So grab that ear, tuck this other hand behind you, and we're just going to slowly pull the body over. And then inhale, come back up with the spine, but keep that head kind of tilted. We're going to inhale and exhale. And then we're going to float up and float up. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Really stretch. And release down. And we'll do the other side. We're going to breathe in, draw it in, exhale, sweep. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, return. Inhale, tilt. Hold for a moment. Notice where you feel that and return. And we'll inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, press. And release and relax. Good. Now going into some bird Qigong, we're going to float up and in. And then exhale and press. Flexing here in the palms. Feel that coming up the inside of the arms. And then flip the palms up, relax, roll forward, breathe in. Exhale, press. Let's look left. Relax. Breathe in. Press. And then we're going to make a bird's beak and we're going to press through the backs of the wrists. Turn that up and then release each finger and flex those fingers, pulling them back towards the forearm. And then up. And then bird's beak. Pressing. Lift it up. Release. Sweep forward with an exhale. Inhale. We'll do it one more time. Releasing lines of tension here. and sweep it forward. Breathe it in and press it down. Good. Plucking stars, we float up. We start to turn to the right. Tuck that back hand behind you. Flip that front palm. We're going to watch the palm. As it gets to the left side of you, drop the fingers down and then turn and watch the hand lift. Stars, imaginary stars up above you. Flex the palm and we're going to start to spiral through the waist here, giving a nice massage to the body. Find a star that you like. Pluck it, bring it back to center, lift your crown, sink your tailbone down, and then we're going to pour that stardust down through the body. It's just using your imagination to soothe and calm the body. We float, we turn, tuck that back hand away, flip that right palm, and then scan back across the body, drop the fingers. Just breathing naturally here. Flex the palm to an imaginary starlit sky. We sweep, we pluck a star, we come back to center, lift the crown, relax down into the earth, and pull that energy through the body. Good. And then this next one, we float up. We're going to start to turn left, tuck the left hand behind you, grab the left ear, lift that elbow up, and then we're going to sweep down towards the left leg. So maybe you'll reach your thigh or your knee or come all the way down into a fold. And then we just come right back up, slowly breathing in and breathing out. And then we start to turn. And then use that arm above to hold you as you look up. And come back up. And then we slowly sweep across and look over the left shoulder. Good. Back to center. Unwind. And then we'll start to turn. Tuck that right hand. Grab that right ear. Lift the elbow. Come down. We're going to come back up, breathing in. Good job. We're going to turn left. And as if your partner is dipping you, come back up. Look over the back shoulder. Back to center. Float up. Bring your feet back under and float down. Good. Now this fun one is called showing claws or paws. So you can make claws or paws. We come back behind the ears. We start to just move forward horizontally, pulling the body with us and the torso. Feeling that in the hamstrings here. And your claws are out or your paws. Touch the palms, slowly come back up. And we'll spread the feathers here. Keep your thumb and forefinger attached. Relax the shoulders down. Float down. Beautiful. Let's come a little wider into horse stance, toes pointed out a little. And we're gonna do tiger crouches in the grass. We got those claws again. And then just play with how far your knees and your hips want to go down, but have a wide enough stance that your knees aren't going forward of your toes. And we're going to rake down the body and rake up the body. So let's exhale and inhale. This is a dredging exercise. that helps to dredge out, kind of like that muck that accumulates in our gutters. Is anything unnecessary? But we're also opening up the groin. You can stick out your tongue. You can go cross-eyed. The tongue connects to the heart. And last one. Good. And then just rest your hands either here or here if you have that ability, or here to open the groin a little bit more, just for a moment. And then hands back on the thighs, toes forward, and we'll fold. Let the head hang heavy. Let your spine decompress. And then roll up. Okay, step it back in and settle down. Again, let's take a moment to breathe, notice. Qigong is a practice that trains us to start noticing our sensations in our bodies, so that if we're at the computer and we're unconsciously tensing, we go, oh, I'm tensing. And we catch ourselves. So we check in. If you're feeling a little overstimulated in your practice, you can always do this low pulling down of the heavens to help the heart. Okay, so we're on our transition phase, which is to purge or disperse or release anything that got stirred up with our stretches. It's a unique opportunity to use some vibration techniques to let it go. Excuse me. And we're going to start with counter swing. So we lift. That's supposed to work. We lift our arms up, and then take your right hand and just drop it straight down and lift it up. And then take your left hand and drop it behind you and lift it up. So we do that at the same time. And then there's a little bounce, lift, and then we alternate. So this is our inhale, this is our exhale, and then we turn the hips a little, or the waist a little, and we look towards that forward palm, and then we release. And really keep those shoulders really loose, and think of that downward move of just a letting go. Feel that in the neck and the shoulders, just loosening. Good. Now we're going to add a second vibration technique where we bring our feet in, and this is called knocking post. We lift up onto our toes as we lift our arms, and then we kind of drop and reverberate a few times, like you're being, like a post is getting pushed into the ground. So we lift and drop, lift and drop, lift and drop, lift and drop. Good. The third thing we're going to do, and then we're going to put it all together, is the electric horse, but I like to think of a wet dog. So like, you know, when a wet dog just wiggles. So we're going to start by wiggling our hips, really wiggling our hips, and then have that come up to your upper body, and then bring your elbows out. And then on a 1, 2, 3, we go whoosh, and we just flick out anything we don't need anymore. Yeah, very good. Electric horse. So we just start here and up here and the elbows, and then do it a couple more times. Last time. We're gonna let it go. Good. Now we're gonna put one little aspect from each of those together. So we're going to have the swinging, the dropping, and the ricochet motion. So We're going to bring the right hand across the body, left hand across the buttocks, and lift the right heel. And then we're going to bring those arms back and drop the heel. So it's a, and then we go this way. We go this way. Inhale. Just let it go. Any frustrations, any tension, judgments about yourself, resentments, just let it go. Good, and then we're just gonna shake. So we're just gonna shake very gently through the body, through our legs, and add some sighing breaths. So everyone is doing this, and we all look a little weird, but we're all doing it. As they say, there's safety in numbers. And I'm sure we have a lot we can let go of. Anything that's been weighing on your mind, anything that's been hurting. Anything that's built up over the week. So shaking is an instinctual stress response, as well as sighing. So in Qigong, we just do it intentionally, like housekeeping. But this is what athletes do before they perform. This is what little kids do when they don't know what to do with all their energy. So it really does make sense. Okay, let's pause, breathe, and feel. So it's said that 2 minutes of this can really reset the nervous system. Now, Zen told me she did, 30 minutes of this? Oh my gosh. I don't think I could do that. So what you're feeling, if you're feeling things, is the relaxation response that you created for yourself, just in a minute or two. And we're going to move now with this wonderful opening that we've created through the body into our moving meditation. Meditation in motion. And this is a time when I'm usually really thirsty, so if you want to grab a drink. How's everybody doing? Good, okay. And just know this flow that I've decided to do today towards the end of the sequence is just a way to really steep our minds in nature. We're going to be standing in a lake and doing a set called Moonlight Over the Lake. And so I just want you to really try to bring your imagination to that when we get to that point. But if you ever feel like your legs are getting a little stiff, just kick them out, because you're in the lake, kick them out, and you'll be good. Okay. But first we're going to start with a couple flows, a couple exercises, just to enter the flow and start to switch the energy from that dynamic phase to this more internal focus. And enjoy this. This is your meditation time. A lot of people find that seated meditation is difficult for them. And when you add the movement, it gives your mind something to focus on. So you're not thinking thoughts so much, but you are thinking about the body. So we're going to enter the flow with Tai Chi opening. We just lift with the wrist, kind of like a marionette here. And then the elbows grow heavy and the wrist and the hands follow down in a wave. And we breathe in and lift to about the shoulder height and wave down on an exhale. And now we're breathing exclusively through the nose. And it's not just the arms that are moving. There's a subtle wave through the body. So the chest lifts and we put our weight a little bit more forward in the feet. And then the chest is contained here, and we're in the heels. So we're breathing in. It's just a subtle movement up the legs, through the hips, and the torso. Good. So start to just focus on the breath and the movement. Start to sink your mind into your body, going at a comfortable pace with your breath, but always challenging your breath a little to become a little bit longer, as long as it's within a comfort zone. The meditation is finding stillness in stillness. And Qigong is finding stillness in movement. Simply bringing your awareness to the experience of moving your body calms the mind. We all know what slow breathing can do for the nervous system, and when you add a slow movement, it can exaggerate that effect. It starts to create a pattern. The breath and the movement create a pattern that acts like a magnet for the mind and the nervous system. Let's lift all the way up as if this puppet is being lifted up and then off to the sides. Exhaling down and then circling back from those thighs back up. Nice big cleansing inhale. Exhale, release and soften. This slow breath and this slow movement helps us drop into the present moment. It's like a series of images in a film. There's this moment and this moment and this moment. And if we didn't go that slowly, we couldn't find the moment. So as we go through these exercises, just start to notice if over time you can start to feel a little less effort through the muscles and feel kind of like an effortless power that starts to move through you. Your imagination will play a big part in that, your awareness. Good. So we're going to move into flying hands. We're going to draw the palms up towards the lungs, and then we're going to float them forward out into a V. So don't lean forward, but your arms will look like this. And then we'll float down. We're going to glide up, inhaling, and then float away as if you're drawing old stagnant energy right away from the diaphragm there. Breathing in, floating forward and down. Pulling away any old hurts, sadness, grief, discouragement. And activating the chi in the lungs and cultivating courage, hope, inspiration for the future. One more. And relax the hands down, palms still facing the body. We'll move into washing the barrels. We're going to draw up past the head all the way up to the sky. And then we draw down towards the hips and the legs all the way to the earth. And imagine your body is a barrel and you're just pulling rushing water streaming through your body. Breathing in. Imagine that water just cleansing away any aches or pains. Just clearing out any heavy, dark thoughts, washing through. And then let's leave the right hand up and draw the left hand down. And then we're going to slowly draw the hands together. They'll meet at the heart, and then they'll pass each other and extend. And remember, we're not stretching, we're just floating to the edge of a stretch. Breathing. I'll add the breathing here. We're going to inhale towards the heart, sink a little. Exhale and lengthen. Breathing in and out. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you. Just imagine that you're nourishing yourself with exactly what you need in this moment. Feeling safe and free. Feel the release through the neck and the shoulders. Good, and then leave the right hand up, and we're going to spiral the arms so they switch spots. And then we'll resume with a sink and a lift and then a spiral. And we inhale, exhale, spiral. And then pause here, and we'll go the other way, washing the barrels with one hand. Starting to find a flow where you feel really connected to your whole being, your surroundings. Good, and then we'll end this exercise. We'll float that top hand down, and we'll pull down the heavens. Good. Okay, I think you're sufficiently entered the flow. We're going to move into moonlight over the lake. So we're going to widen our stance so we can shift our weight. And we're just going to gloss our hands over this water, back and forth. And it's up to you. You can go side to side, or you can create a figure eight by reaching out a little and then circling back towards your hip. And the hips can even mimic this movement. I'm told this is an exercise that's really good for the digestion, but we're just going to think about the water. And let's imagine that it's dusk and the fish are really active, and your hands are going to become fish. So your wrists are the heads, the fingers trailing behind are the tails. And then meet me over here on the left, and the right hand is going to jump belly up, your fish, and its friend will meet it when it lands, and they'll swim and swim, and then your left fish will jump belly up, watching that back of that hand landing in the water. This is good for connecting the left and right hemispheres of the brain. But we're just thinking about the fish. Good, and now the moon is coming out and the fish are gone and they've gone down below, and we're just glossing our fingers over the water, and we can see the moonlight on our fingers and the ripples of the water. And this is something we rarely do in our culture, which is to just slow down. We're not trying to burn calories or count steps or accomplish any of our goals. We're just being in our bodies and remembering our connection with all of nature. Good. And so now a mist is coming in over the lake. We're going to pause over to this side. We're going to roll in on this mist. And then you're going to keep your lower body stationary as you just turn your whole torso and float down. So this mist is just covering your whole body. You float up on it. You roll down on it. Let's add the breath. We're going to inhale and exhale. Rolling up and down. And then we'll do moonlight on the lake. And the mist will come in here. Just really relax into this. Just rolling up. See if you can roll up with minimal effort. And then just float down as if there's a sail, there's air, there's wind, just moving a sailboat. Good. And then now let's come back to moonlight, glossing on the water. And now the clouds are coming out. And we're going to move into cloud hands, which is a Tai Chi exercise for the heart. So we're going to start, if you know this, you can go right into it, but we're going to start embracing the chi, and then put one hand on the water, one hand facing your heart, nice and rounded here, shoulders relaxed. And we're just going to shift our weight right towards that upward hand, turn the hips and the waist right without moving the hands, and then we switch the hand positions. So now your right hand's on the water. We shift, we turn, and we switch. We shift, turn, switch. So those three movements, we start to blend together. Shift, turn, switch, shift, turn, switch. And just imagine you're just pushing nice, big, fluffy clouds around. Shoulders relaxed. So we're activating the heart channel, which runs from the armpit to the pinky. So if you want to, you can think consciously of that channel. And with the breath, we're just inhaling towards the heart and exhaling away from the heart. Beautiful to watch all these clouds over the lake. Soften the arms. Not too close to the body, not too stretched out, but just spirited and open. So we let go and we fill up. So we're clearing any anxiety like clouds, any pent-up energy in the chest, any stress, any insecurity. Just letting that go like a cloud. And then we're just calling in the qualities of energy we want in the heart. We want to have joy in the heart, but not too much joy. We want a calm heart. We want to feel warmth and feel uplifted, but calm. And imagine you're just floating up there with those clouds. Now we're going to put all three together. We're going to do moonlight, glossing. And then we're going to be the mist. And then we're going to land with the left hand on the water, right hand on the heart. Sorry, right hand on the water, left hand on the heart. Into the clouds. Good job, you guys recovered. And it's moonlight, moonlight, mist, And then the left hand on the water to calm the heart, right hand on the heart. Moonlight. And then sink your awareness into this. See the moonlight, feel the mist, be the clouds. And find a flow. Very good. And bring it back to center. And we're going to do one more exercise. I'd like to do 5 more, but we'll probably do 1 or 2 more. This one is a favorite of mine. We're going to breathe in, and then we're going to just press down the backs of the legs all the way to the heels. Sweep over the tops of the feet and then draw up the inside channels here. And then when you get to your hips, we're just going to float away from the body. And then draw down. We're going to continue with this water imagery for calming our body. We're going to breathe in. Just imagine snow melting down into the earth. And then this warm, wonderful geothermal moisture coming up through your body. And then floating up on a cloud of condensation. And then fresh, pure rain just pouring down, restoring, rejuvenating through the spine here. Breathing in and out. Drawing up this kidney channel and just imagining drawing up the nourishment from the earth, floating up, and then drawing down that which supports your spirit, your essence, feeling very connected and calm. One more time. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale, float, and inhale, release down. Good. So we're gonna just end with pulling down the heavens to start to move into the 6th phase of consolidating. So we're just going to do a little bit lower version from when we started. We're going to focus on this downward movement, exhaling down. Knees are soft, feet really connected, breathing in. And then just think of releasing any residual tension, scanning down across the throat, the chest, the belly, the legs. Let it go. And then bathing yourself in this chi that you've cultivated. And then breath in, and let's start to sink our breath and our awareness down low in the lower abdomen, like a stone dropping to the bottom of a pond. Just sinking your awareness, focusing on that lower abdomen. Wherever the mind goes, the chi flows. And one more time, allowing our chi to gather in this power, this place of peace and calm and power. And then connect the palms here and just play with this space between the palms. Just see if you feel any sensation, any magnetism. And let's take a breath in and feel the belly expand as we expand the hands. And then exhale and contract and feel that space contracting in the belly. Breathing in. Just amplifying, using your imagination, picturing that area in the lower abdomen just growing bigger and brighter. And just make a ball with this imaginary ball of energy. And pour an intention or a prayer into this ball. Knowing that everything is within you now. And everything is accepted. The light, the dark, every aspect of you. And then let's pour this prayer, this intention into the belly. Step our feet in. Lift the crown and then soften everything down for bamboo in the wind. But here in Park City, we call it aspen tree on a mountainside. Just relax your whole body. And imagine swaying, rocking and swaying gently with a gentle breeze. So subtle you can barely feel it. And that breeze is just symbolic of your life energy. You have to really relax to feel it, and then you can fully yield to it and let it go with the body's wisdom where it needs to go. To balance and heal and harmonize. Just feel the muscles melting towards the earth and your bones just floating skyward, holding you upright. And you can relax a little bit more into that. And the more you relax, the more the energy circulates. And the more the energy circulates, the more you can relax. And it's this beautiful cycle, bringing you back to peace. And just smile down at your body for everything it does for you. And acknowledge yourself for taking the time to just breathe and move and be in your body, embodied. And we'll step it out, and we'll just do a real brief yin massage. We're going to breathe in, palms will touch, bend to the elbows here, arms behind you, brush past the throat, the neck to the throat. Just kind of petting yourself like a little kitty cat. Soothing the nervous system. We'll take the backs of the hands down the sternum and then around up by the kidneys. Brush down. Brush up. Circle the belly. 1, 2, 3. Let the belly hang out. We'll do it again, breathing in. Out, in, and out, and in, and then around the belt channel here 3 times. And circle the belly. And we'll take a nice breath in. And release with a sigh. Feeling that energy from your fingertips to the ends of your hair, to your toes. A nice calm vitality. Thank you so much. Good job. Hey, can I have everyone come in?